when we talk about the Wi-Fi segment as far as India is concerned, this flame that was lit in 2020 by Prime Minister himself, he has the ability to be able to see things far quicker and much in advance than the rest of the world. And I'm saying this to you because I have learned this by experience from him. When I became Civil Aviation Minister, the first statement he said to me, I want India to become the drone capital of the world by 2030. At that point of time, we didn't even know what drones were. Today, the usage of drones across India for every practical purpose that you can think of. And his approach of whole of government, 16 ministries were mandated first that you will use drones for everything. Can you imagine cadastral surveys, Osama, in rural India being done by drones? So today, that is becoming a reality. And the same thing in telecom. Ubiquitous connectivity, all-pervasive connectivity. And therefore, his dream of PM-WANI, Prime Minister's Wi-Fi access network interface, to every village, to every citizen across the length and breadth of this country. Imagine this. 3 examples I'll give you. A shop owner, let's say in a city like Varanasi, puts up a 3,000 rupee router. And that person has the capability to generate Wi-Fi hotspots linking every student, every gig worker, every shopkeeper in that area. He becomes a multifaceted entrepreneur. Pune, for example, is becoming the home of IT. Think of a young app developer in Pune that now becomes an app provider that can help you locate the closest Wi-Fi hotspot and simply click and log in. And third, think of a mall owner in Guwahati that becomes a public data office aggregator who takes care of the backhaul of hundreds of PDOs and starts a new business. This, ladies and gentlemen, for you are examples of this value chain, where you not only create public access to Wi-Fi, but you're able to create multiple opportunities for entrepreneurship. And this is India's example of grassroots connectivity. A connectivity which is steeped in simplicity, a connectivity which is driven by inclusion, and a connectivity that is blessed by innovation. These are the 3 characters of this industry, which will help multiple industries to flower across the length and breadth of our country. And as the speakers before me have spoken, Aruna ji has spoken about the technical aspects. 16 September 2024, we sat down and said, we want to create a new landscape for this sector. If it has to be all pervasive, it has to permeate, it must be a new landscape. And what was that new landscape? Allowing PDOs to access your FTTH connections, thereby making every storefront a digital powerhouse. Number 1. Number 2, making sure that you have a shared backhaul. And what does that allow you? That allows you to make sure that your isolated dots on your digital highway become islands of an archipelago that weave together, like we say in Chanderi, Tana and Bana, warp and weft, together and make a mosaic. Third, when we look at a humble home or an office router with just a new SSID card that will serve as a gateway to the national commons, digital commons. And fourth, when you make sure that there's seamless roaming across PDOs, which means a person that's going from Kochi to Kohima never gets disconnected. And at the same time, you allow a fusion of mobile data offloading, which means when you go from the spectrum-based mobile system onto a Wi-Fi system, thereby saving valuable spectrum space as well. These 5 elements have created a new metaphysical environment in which Wi-Fi can be all-pervasive. And I commit you this, that in the days to come, we will ensure that from a policy perspective, not from a regulator's perspective, but from a facilitator's perspective, we will lay out the platform so as to make sure that we connect every disconnected citizen across the length and breadth of our country. We already have close to about 3.5 lakh hotspots. And all this is happening without spectrum, without bureaucratic red tape. And India today is showing the world how to move. India today is showing the world how it can be done. And therefore, we must celebrate this journey, not with applause, but with purpose. Every hotspot must convert, and I would like Osama, yourself, Arunaji, to concentrate on this. You must convert every hotspot into a hope spot. Because the amount of opportunities that will arise from this new service will be immeasurable. We must ensure that every connection churns another chance. And every byte carries within it millions of heartbeats of our fellow Indians across the length and breadth of our country. We have now delicensed and awarded, refarmed the 6 gigahertz spectrum, the lower end of that spectrum, which is today not a luxury. Today it's a necessity. And that will give us what? It will give us to our industry multi-gigabit speeds, ultra-low latency, low-cost digital highways that will spawn, it will spawn multiple businesses, multiple opportunities. Think of it this way. 100 years ago, in the Industrial Revolution, you meaning us humans, built physical roads and physical railways. The Vanderbilts, the Carnegies. Today, India is #1 in building the first digital highway. It's an invisible pipe, but the content in that pipe is what is going to change the lives of people not across our country, but across the world. And that avishkar, that navachar will emanate, ladies and gentlemen, from no other country in the world, but from our Bharat Mata. And therefore, delicensing the 6 gigahertz spectrum was key in that movement. As Sharma ji has said, other countries have done it. But I guarantee you that our rules for this will be out either on or before Independence Day of this year. That freedom for every single citizen will be mandated by Prime Minister Modi's government within the next couple of months. Now, 2 final points I'd like to elucidate on. The first, we must ensure that this pipe is one that is spread across the length and breadth of our country. It is like the arteries of the heart. And therefore, The digital divide between Bharat and India has to be obliterated by this technology. And for that, we're not only looking at the ground. Many of the speakers before me talked about OFC, but we are also looking at the skies. Satellite, LEO and MEO, both have become today a reality in India. Spectrum will be assigned on an administrative basis. 3 licenses have been given out, and those areas that were never connected will become connected in India. The first is access. The second point is affordability. And here I must appeal to my industry, my chip makers, my OEMs, my device makers. We must ensure that we are able to produce devices at nominal cost to allow our citizens to connect onto this technology. We cannot allow devices to become the new digital divide in our country. And therefore, if you look at the 3 components of this space, number 1, your terrestrial fiber, number 2, your satellite connectivity, and number 3, devices at nominal cost. All 3 together represent the bouquet that present the opportunity for our countrymen and women to power forward and innovate in their lives. And that is what the mandate of the Telecom Ministry is, to ensure that we provide that landscape for every single citizen across our country. Final words, I'd like to say that in India, I certainly believe that connectivity is not a commodity. It is a tool of empowerment. It is an act of nation building. And therefore, on this World Wi-Fi Day, let us commit ourselves that we will light up every single rural home. We will empower every aspiring mind, and we will strengthen every public service with the power of Wi-Fi. Together, let us make Wi-Fi stand for widespread inclusion for future India. Thank you very much.